Hey budget gardeners, Rita Loca here. Join me today as I show you how easy it is to propagate impatiens from cuttings. So let's go. I absolutely love impatiens. They thrive in shade and they even thrive with a little bit of sun. These impatiens that you're looking at are impatiens that I propagated from seed, and I have a lot of videos showing my process on how to collect the seeds from impatiens as well as how to start impatiens from seed. What I'll do is put links to those videos down in the description below. And in case you're wondering the variety, these are called beacon impatiens. Propagation is basically a way of creating more plants for free. And there are a lot of different ways you can propagate plants. You can propagate them from seed, division, layering, cuttings. There are different times of the years that you might want to propagate your impatiens. One of them might be in the spring or summer months, and the reason is you just want to make more plants to put all around your yard. Another reason why you might want to propagate your impatiens is a frost is coming, winter is around the corner, and these plants, at least where I live, are not hardy where I live. So I would end up losing the plants. But in order to keep the plants going, you can actually either bring the whole plant in, but sometimes we don't want to do that because we don't want to bring in such a big plant. So another way you can do it is to take cuttings of the plant, root the cuttings, and then treat the plant as a house plant. And when we're talking about overwintering impatiens, they are a plant that like it a little bit warm. So it's definitely a plant that you want to overwinter in a sunny window, under grow lights, or in a basement where you're getting a little bit of sun. Even though I plan on starting these impatiens from seed again this coming winter, there are a few impatiens that I'm eyeing that I want to take cuttings of and I want to try overwintering this year. One of them has a double bloom to it. It's really pretty, and I haven't been able to find seeds on impatiens that have double blooms on them. So I want to try overwintering those by taking cuttings. And then I also want to try overwintering some SunPatiens. And also, you usually don't find the seeds for SunPatiens, so that's another great one to take cuttings to overwinter. But nevertheless, the process that I'm going to show you today will apply to any type of impatiens plant that you have. Just look how pretty this window box is. I think we only started with maybe 6 or 8 plants in it, and it really has filled in. I have a plant that's down here that's looking a little leggy. It's just hanging from the bottom. We might as well cut that off. For the size of the cutting, you want it to be somewhere around 4 to 6 inches in length. I'm going to use my hand pruners, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut down here. See this little bump right here? Those are called nodes, and those are areas where the leaves usually come out. Those are also areas where the roots are more likely to come out of the plant. Here's another node. Here's another node. As long as the cutting that you've taken has at least 2, if not 3 nodes on it, you should be fine. But sometimes when it comes to the roots forming, the roots will even form here where you made your cut. If your impatiens is woody, you want to take your cuttings where they're the freshest, greenest parts. You don't want to take them off of any woody parts. This cutting does not have any leaves on the bottom, but if it did, we would want to remove all the leaves on the base here. We would just want to leave a few leaves on the top. The other thing you want to do is remove any flowers as well as flower buds. And the reason for doing that is we want the plant to put its energy into creating roots. We don't want it to put its energy into creating flowers or flower buds. In fact, I could even come in right here and snip this part off if I wanted to. You just want to make sure you're leaving a few leaves on your cutting because the plant still needs to photosynthesize. And if your cutting had very large leaves on it, you could go ahead, use your hand pruners, and you could cut those leaves in half. And the reason for doing that is, again, just so the plant puts its energy into root production and not to support all of the leaves on the plant, because the plant will lose water, and that's called transpiration. And that's a reason why if you have a lot of leaves, you want to take off as much of the leaves as possible and just leave a few leaves on here. When you collect the seeds from plants, there's a chance that the plant that gets produced might not look like the parent plant. That's what happened with all of these. I don't mind that, but if you want to have an identical copy of a plant, the best way to do that is to take a cutting of it. When I take my cuttings, I prefer to take cuttings right above a set of leaves. The reason is, see right here, we have a stem. And if we were to take our cutting below a set of leaves, like right here, what would happen is we would have this long piece of stems just sticking out. But if we took our cutting right above a set of leaves, like right down here, then we wouldn't have that long stem just sticking out. Let's go ahead and take another cutting. You could take this cutting and you could put it in a pot with potting mix. and you could definitely propagate your plant that way. Just make sure you're using a well-draining potting mix. Make sure you're keeping the soil moist, but you also don't want it too wet, otherwise you're going to rot your plant. And then place this in an area where it's going to get indirect sunlight. And within about a few weeks, you should start to have roots. However, my preferred method is to root my impatiens in water. You can see I have a small jar of water, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put my cutting in the water. The big thing is to make sure that these top leaves don't go inside of the water, and also down below where we have the stem, we want to make sure that there are no leaves down in the water, because if there are leaves in the water, it's going to cause the water to get murky and it's going to cause our stem to rot. Again, I'm going to place this in an area where it gets indirect sunlight. In about 2 weeks, I should start to see some roots forming. I'm also going to be diligent about changing the water every 1 to 2 days because I don't want the water to get murky and I want it to be fresh. There was probably a leaf here, but it fell off. But again, this is a leaf node and this is a leaf node. We can go ahead and start removing our bottom leaves. Any of the leaves that basically we don't want to be in the water. And then on the top, we want to remove the flowers as well as flower buds. So we can basically just pinch that off. We also have a seed pod forming and we want to remove that as well. It's really up to you how many leaves you want to leave on the top. If you want to leave more than 2, that's fine as well. And I'm just going to make sure that none of the leaves are inside the water. Here is an impatiens cutting that I took about 2 weeks ago. And I was diligent about changing the water out every 1 to 2 days, and I kept my cutting in indirect sunlight. It has just barely started to create roots. Normally, I would wait another 1 to 2 weeks before trying to pot this up. But even if I pot it up right now, the plant will be fine. So I'm going to show you what the next steps are. I like to pot up my plants in small 3-inch containers. That way I know that my plant is getting enough water, but not too much water. So I'm just making an indentation or a hole in the center where the cutting is going to go. And then I can go ahead and place it. And then I just want to backfill and press down. You can use whatever potting mix you like. I like to make my own potting mix, and I'll put a link to that down in the description below in case you're interested. Just make sure that your potting mix drains very nicely. See those little white things there? That's called perlite, and perlite definitely helps with good drainage. And then I want to give my cutting a drink of water. And I will only be watering this once I notice that the top 1 inch is starting to get dry. I can also pick up the pot and I can tell if it's light. And if it's very light, it means it's time for it to get water. But if I give it too much water, again, there's a chance I can rot out my plant, and I don't want to do that. Within a few weeks, you'll start to notice more leaves forming, and eventually flower buds and flowers will appear. Propagating impatiens from cuttings is super easy to do, and it's fun and it saves you a lot of money. I like to propagate impatiens in the spring and summer months just to increase my stock of plants that I have in container pots as well as out in my landscape. However, in the fall time, it's a great time to propagate cuttings to create free little plants that you can bring in and overwinter. When it comes to fertilizing these plants, I'm not going to bother fertilizing them until they start flowering for me. And at that time, I can give them a liquid fertilizer every 1 to 2 weeks. I wanted to make this video because I want to inspire you to try propagating impatiens. And another idea is to go to the clearance section at a lot of the stores because they might be marking down their impatiens. And maybe there's a really pretty one that you see that you want to try to make copies of to have in your landscape or to overwinter. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever propagated impatiens, and if so, what kind, and also how did you do it? And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.